down on the trading floor. Well, it's Wednesday. Really interesting. Some really interesting developments here. And I didn't hear about this until it came out. It was really interesting how it happened. But there is a new SPAC out there, Digital World Acquisition Corp. It's linked with Trump, and it's just going crazy. And very very interesting deal here. Just I just want to kind of show you some of the stuff on it. I didn't know anything about it, and and there it is. And so, um, boy, just very interesting. So let's get into the slides, as it were. Um, Basically, the Nasdaq, very nice follow through. And follow through day, as everybody knows, that's sort of the signal. That's the market signaling us to get back into the market. And when these happen, it's a great thing. It's a great thing. I was buying Tesla this morning, and also, just kind of looking to see kind of, what the lay of the land was, and just to see if there's anything out there that, that was good. So, you know, after, weeks essentially of a pullback, it's starting to look somewhat good here. So I'm pretty excited about that. We're seeing some nice stuff happen. I mean, we really are. The Nasdaq is in a confirmed uptrend, and this is a very interesting thing. We had a follow through day on the Nasdaq. The first follow through day was on the Dow, and then we had one on the S&P, and now we've had a follow through day on the Nasdaq. This is a very bullish sign. Definitely something that we want to take note of. This is a good time to start coming into the market, uh, you know, and when these happen, it gives us an opportunity to buy stuff at the proper buy points, which is so important in making good trading decisions. So, very exciting. I just want to show you this one. This is what I was talking about. This is the Digital World Acquisition Corp. This is the Trump, sort of thing. I didn't know very much about this one at all, and, here it is. I mean, here it is. It just came out, and, when this slide was taken a few minutes ago, it was up basically unbelievable amounts. I'm just looking at this. I'm just looking at this chart myself. I'm like, "Wow, this is incredible." It came out below 30, and then, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's just up tremendously, 356%. That's amazing. I mean, what does that? So we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely, my eye is definitely gonna be on this one right now. And this is a SPAC, and the way the SPACs work, of course, is that, they put money into these. These are already essentially public shells, and they're looking for a company to acquire, and if this is gonna be part of the Trump um, Media and Technology Group. And, I don't know what this is going to be called, but right now the SPAC is called DWAC, Digital World Acquisition Corporation. So very interesting thing going on here. Yeah, I don't know what to make of it yet, but for right now, you want to kind of possibly put this one on your radar. DWAC. I don't normally like SPACs. I'll be honest with you. I don't normally like SPACs because I've been burned on a couple of them, but who knows? This one might really turn out to be something great. So I just very interesting, very very interesting to me. Just want to put it on your radar screen. Digital World Acquisition Corp. And yeah, so there you go. Here are the major indexes currently. We're off a little bit on the Dow. We're off just a penny on the S&P, and of course the Nasdaq is the real star here. That's the one. Of course, that's the follow through day that I was looking for. Because with that follow through day, it's not a lot, but it's a follow through day, and that makes it something that is really looking really good. Just want to also show you a stock of the day. This is a breakout stock. I did not buy this one. Gosh, I should have bought this one because I knew this was on my radar. I didn't pull the trigger fast enough. This is what they call an ascending base. Ascending base is a very interesting pattern in that, it just kind of keeps on going up. I don't know why, but they had some great numbers. The stock is Boot Barn. BOOT. That's the symbol on this one. Very, very interesting stock. The relative strength at just below the new highs, and there's growth in this sector. And apparently, they're not having any of the problems, a lot of the problems that are associated with, the supply chain. So I'm excited about this one. I don't own it, but I'm looking at it definitely for possibly an acquisition because I do like the retail group. I did very well in Macy's. I did sell out of Macy's, but I do like the retail group. That's one of the top groups right now. So I'm kind of trying to get my powder dry in that area. Wanted to kind of show you what I've currently got in the small portfolio. And this, of course, the small portfolio is sort of one of the portfolios that I trade, and it's a real, it's not that there's not that much in it. And so it's a good kind of a good way to allocate. Here's the way I've allocated. I went into AMD about 8 days ago. I've held it for 8 days ago. Now it's coming into earnings. It's up 8%, which is quite good. But what I want to do with it is, if it's not up 10%, I will sell AMD into earnings. Earnings are in 5 days, so basically next week, we're gonna have earnings on AMD, and that is, indeed, something that I'm gonna look at. I'm up about 4% on EOG Resources. This is an oil stock. I've had it for about 17 days. It's about 13 days to earnings. I'm gonna see how it comes into earnings. Again, if it's not up 10%, I will probably sell it or lighten it up a little bit into earnings. Where Microsoft is going to be is going to be in 4 days. So I don't know if I'm going to sell Microsoft. I probably will hold it through. Even though that breaks the rule, I would probably hold this through earnings. Coming up on Lending Club, I will definitely sell this one if it's not up 10%, which I doubt it will be before earnings, and then see how it trades, and then possibly buy it back. I do like the story on Lending Club. I do like the chart. It's very similar to Upstart, but I'm going to protect any gains that I have there. Salesforce is up. I'm not going to do anything. We've got we're out. We're 40 days from earnings here. I've had it for a few days. I'm just going to let this one ride, and then this one, Ternium. This is a steel company. I'm definitely going to look at this. I may reduce my position in this one. I definitely want to be in the metals. And that's sort of the small portfolio. I have other stocks, of course, that I will show you right now, but that kind of gives you how I allocated the portfolio. This is currently what I'm holding, which I'm holding probably way too many stocks right now. I'm going to start trimming as we come into earnings. EOG, of course, we talked about that. That is an oil stock. Microsoft, I really want to hold this long term. It does, in terms of the quote unquote FANG stocks. This isn't truly a FANG stock because it's not in that acronym, but it really trades like one. So this is a long term leader, and I want to start building a position towards the end of the year in this stock, just because I think I respect it so much. CRM, it's down a little bit, still doing very well. AMD, of course, we're talking about that, holding that into earnings. There was a nice move on Nvidia, and of course, I'm out of Nvidia right now, and it's the chart on AMD was looking a little bit better. I may be getting back into Nvidia. We'll see where that's going to go. Hess, I'm probably it's down a little bit today. I'm probably going to cut this one just because it's just not. Oh, I'm sorry, I already did cut this one. So that should go out of the list. I got that one yesterday. Ternium, of course, we talked about that. Linden Club, I really like this one, and it does have some increase in volume. I'm going to just hold it. Robert Half, it's up. This is one I like very much. We did have this huge move on Bitcoin yesterday. It's off a little bit today, but I still really like the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, GBTC. Um, MGM is up again. I do like MGM and the Qs, the QQQ Trust. Also, I'm holding Fortinet, which I think is one of the best computer software security companies out there. It's up a little bit today. And of course, I just initiated Tesla. It's up $28, which it's a pretty expensive stock. So that's 3%, but that's still significant with 74%. What I may do with Tesla is I may sell some other stocks and pile in to Tesla a little bit more. I do think it's finally gotten rid of that overhead supply. It's been resting for basically a year, if you can believe that. And so I think that it's interesting. Just kind of want to go long-term leaders. These are stocks that you might want to kind of put on your radar screen. They're not necessarily ready to buy yet, but these are long-term leaders. These are the kind of stocks that, at least for now, you probably want to not swing trade them, try to get into them. And basically, they are some of the best stocks, at least in terms of the market right now. AMSL, of course, that's a chip company, chip semiconductor manufacturing company that it makes machinery that make chips. They don't make chips. They make machines that make chips. So AMSL, Accenture, of course, this is old Arthur Anderson, believe it or not. Adobe, Google, Atlassian, all the kind of the normal, the normal cast of characters. Cadence Design, this company makes software that designs semiconductors, very, very big in Silicon Valley. Charles Rivers Labs, of course, this is one of the premier biotech companies. Copart, this is the junkyard company based here in Dallas, interestingly enough. Energous, this is all. This is a utility energy. No, sorry. I think it's an oil company. I have to look at that one. EPAM Systems, Fortinet. I do own Fortinet. Globant. I definitely want to get this one, but I don't have it yet. IDX Labs, and then let's see if I can. If we can. There we go. This is Intuit, of course. Just very stable earnings here. These are all you probably want full positions in. Microsoft, I'm building that full position out now. PayPal, even though it's been pulling back of late, I still really like this stock, and I want to do a deeper dive into PayPal right now. But this is a long-term leader, and so I'm a little bit more, from the Discord room, we're asking about PayPal, Intel, and Nvidia. Now, of these three, it's really only PayPal that's the long-term leader. So that's the one we want to concentrate on, on taking a look-see. So that's kind of where I'm at in terms of those. So without further ado, let's get to some of the some of the other stocks. So let's see if I can actually do that. Right. Okay. Uh, there we go. Okay. And for some reason, it's not letting me. Okay, there we go. See if I can just go back to the full. Get that? Nope. Okay. See if I can get rid of that. Oh, there we go. Okay. Bringing up my charts right now. Let's take a look. There we go. Now I should be back. Sorry about taking me time to bring up these charts. I should have them right going, but for some reason, again, I am just there we go. Kind of trying to get these charts up here. Okay. Now let's see if we can get PayPal up. There, finally, finally, we've got PayPal. We could definitely take a look at it. Here's the thing with PayPal, and this is a question from the Discord room. We had this drop off. Just see if I can get the whole screen there. Yeah, there we go. So this is looking better. A little bit of a lag on my my internet connection here. There we go. Okay, so now we can see the whole thing. All right. It after this acquisition news, it just took a dump, and there's a lot of selling going on. We definitely, EPS and ATA. This is a long-term leader, and it's trading below. And this is key. It's trading below the 200-day line. So that's very that's not that's a critical thing for this stock. I mean, it needs to trade. We need to see it take a bounce. So if you're down more than 7% on this one, I would seriously consider possibly selling at least half the position, even though it is a long term leader. So, I would look to possibly close the position for now. If I was below 7%. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I really mean by that is that, you know, even though this is a long-term leader, I think you really need to close your position on this if you are below 7%, just because you need to protect your capital. This will present another opportunity for entry. I do suspect we're going to get a bounce, but right now it's got a relative strength of 20, which just is not looking very good, unfortunately. I mean, I wish it was looking better. The checklist, unfortunately, is only 44%. So it's a situation, even though it's a long-term leader, that we've just got to be super careful in, and just not do anything there, because it's just one of those things. So that's what I would say on PayPal. If you're down more than 7% on this one, it's below the 200-day line, so I would be extremely careful with this right now. So that's basically my thoughts on PayPal. If you're down more than 7%, even though it may come back, which I do think it will, I would be a seller. I would be a seller. Wait for it to bounce. If it bounces, then you could possibly do something. But I just think you got to be super duper careful with this. I just think you got to be really careful, because this could go down quite a bit more. Of course, the news I think that set this off, of course, was the potential Pinterest merger, and I don't know what the status of that is, but apparently they didn't like it that much. They think they may have overpaid, I guess, for Pinterest. Even though Pinterest is big, it was a very big, expensive stock. So, just one just one of those things. It just one of those things. So if you're down more than 7% on PayPal, really consider closing your position. Let's see. Thank you very much for waiting on TikTok. I'm going to see if I have anything here. Missed sales by 3%. So why the massive sell off? Well, I tell you, it's a brutal game out there, unfortunately. It's a brutal game, and you know, you don't wanna miss. You don't wanna miss. I tell you, it's really, to the winners go all the spoils. It's really like that. It's really like that. I mean, to the winners go the spoils, and it's just been something that has been really tough for a lot of companies. Let's look at, but that said, let's look at Tesla, because Tesla is starting to look good. And, I have been, of course, this was my best stock last year, Tesla, but, it's been so tough to enter this. I'm going to go to the weekly chart here, take a look at Tesla. Finally, and this is why this might be of interest to you. This is the buy point right here. The buy point is 900, and we're currently very, 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 very close to it. We are at 881. So after hours, we're up after hours. Tesla, and I just want to put an alert out there. This potentially is gonna, if it breaks through this, then I think we're gonna see some more. It's likely to go much higher, to be honest. It's likely to go much higher if, if it goes above this 900 buy point right here. So this is on the weekly chart. I'm kind of zooming in a little bit so you can see it. But basically what's happening here is that we finally have gotten rid of this overhead supply. We had for a long time a lot of overhead supply on Tesla. There we go. We had a lot of overhead supply, and now we're coming right up to that buy point. It's a second stage cup. The pivot is 940 $900.40. So here's the thing: it's been 38 weeks since it's been moving to this level, and if it moves through this, then I think it's probably going to go much higher. So this might be a time to start, freeing up some capital and possibly to move into Tesla. This is what I'm going to be doing here because of this situation. If we go over to the monthly chart, and it's kind of like a little tough to see this, um, but you can see, last year it skyrocketed, and then we've had this cup. And if it comes through this cup, it's likely to achieve even more upward motion. So I guess that's why Elon Musk is the richest man on the planet now. I guess that's why. um, you know, it's amazing. It's amazing when you see it. So um, that's just something that you might want to take a look at. All right, let's look at the next question from TikTok. Thank you very much. Not sure if you've talked about it yet, but why is stop the best okay. I don't know what that means. I don't. Oh, okay. What is your thoughts on DWAC? Very good. I opened the show with this on DWAC. This is the Trump acquisition company that just came out today, and I want to take another look at it for everybody out there. Just a very strange. It just came out, so there's not much of a chart here, really. But it sort of came out, and then boom, it's up. And then after hours, we don't have. Let's see. The last update was okay. So it is not trading after hours yet. 45.50. I'm going to wait to see if comes down a little bit. My guess is it probably will come down basically to about 40, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm very interested in the stock and don't quite know exactly what I'm going to do here yet, but I'm definitely looking at possibly buying this as well. So very interesting. Digital World Acquisition Corporation. They're gonna obviously this is going to be Trump's multimedia play. So don't exactly know what and how it's going to work, but from what I can tell is that it's gonna work. It's gonna work very well. It's gonna work very well. So who knows what they're gonna do? I don't know if they're gonna buy Getter. By the way, if you're shout out to everybody, I posted a link on Getter. So hopefully you're watching this on YouTube. Getter, which for those you don't know about is going to be starting to live stream probably next week, and hopefully I'll be on that platform. But we'll see. We're trying to make all the arrangements now just to see if we can we can get on that as well. So watch out for that. Watch out for that. Okay, so next question on Google, and this is another long-term leader. Now we covered Tesla, but let's look into Google or Alphabet. GOG is, of course, GOG. Let's look at it. Oh, and that's Alphabet. And let's go to the daily chart on that so we can get an idea. There we go. All right. So this is the daily chart for this is the daily chart for Google. Now it did break this trend line. I'm going to reactivate this. This is a trend line. Now, what it did is it 1, 2, 3. Basically, on Friday it broke. On Monday it broke the the trend line into an upward trend, but it since has pulled back down to the 40-day line. So the question is, you know, is this worth buying now? Well, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it seems like it's had a little bit of a hiccup here, so I'm not sure. I think we're gonna have to wait on this. We're gonna have to watch this one just because it seems to be pulling back to the 40-day line. I kinda wanna look at the specs on it. Checklist is good. Kinda look to see kind of, when earnings are gonna be. And of course, earnings are we just came th we're just getting ready to come into earnings in 5 days. So, if you're looking to acquire Google, I'd be really careful because I would not buy this before earnings, even though it looks probably pretty good. It looks like their earnings are gonna be up, but I just think that you don't wanna take that risk into earnings. So what I would do is I would wait until after earnings. Earnings, are basically, going to come out, basically in 5 days. So, it'll be on I guess it'll be on Wednesday of next week. So that's when we're gonna be seeing, earnings for Google. So I'd be careful about this one. For right now, for right now, what I would do on this one is, I would watch this one just because it's, you know, just because we're coming into earnings and we're not in earnings yet. So I would watch this Google. It's looking good, but I would be super careful because it's always tough when the earnings come around. You don't really want to buy stuff into earnings. If you have 10% cushion in the stock, that's when you possibly want to hold through earnings. You don't want to hold if you have less than 10%. It's just you can get whacked. So what I typically do is coming into earnings, if I don't have 10% cushion, I typically will sell, see how it trades after earnings, and then buy it back. Even though sometimes you're going to miss some of the upward potential there because sometimes it could gap up. But I doubt that Google Alphabet is going to gap up. So I think a safe way to go is to buy it just before buy it after earnings. Wait to see how it trades after earnings, because if it's strong, like that's the reason I bought a Tesla today was because it came through earnings. The earnings were good, and boom, I wanted to get in on that, and now you see it's headed towards the buy point and with 900, and things are looking really good, likely to continue up on that trajectory. But I don't want to buy anything, especially not in these high price stocks, right before earnings. I want to wait for those earnings to see if they're good. Now, if I'm already holding the stock and I have a 10% cushion, then I can hold through earnings. If I have a little bit less than 10%, what I might do is sell half my position. The reason is because even if a company reports good earnings, and a lot of times they will, this can be a problem because they report good earnings and then the stock gets whacked regardless. You don't know, and you're stuck. So with Alphabet here, what I would be doing is I would be waiting to see how what happens with earnings. Earnings are in 5 days, so be very careful about that. But I think it's a great stock, and and, and there we go. Here's the question on DWAC. Is it still in the buy zone for tomorrow? I don't know if it is. Here's the thing with an IPO stock: it hasn't when a stock comes out, it's technically in a buy zone. Typically, with an IPO, you want to wait about three. Believe it or not, you want to wait about 3 months. Now, I'm probably not going to wait 3 months on this one, but I'm going to see how it's going to trade tomorrow. It may pull back and consolidate very quickly. So this is one of the things. There's a lot of excitement in this stock, but this one may pull back and consolidate. And if it does, then we have a situation where we might we might not want to be in it. So let's see how this one trades. Let's watch list this one. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a close watch on this, but I'm going to watch list um, uh, uh, um, DW. What is it? Oh gosh, um, DWAC. I gotta remember this. But that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna watch list this one and and see how it trades tomorrow. this week it could be an absolute blockbuster. It was today, but and I wasn't expecting this one to come out today at all. I had some forewarning on it. It just it wasn't on my radar as much as it needed it to be. I'm going to be watching this one very closely tomorrow because I may be buying this myself. So we'll see. We'll see how it trades. We'll see how it trades tomorrow. But really interesting. Really, really interesting. I don't know if they're going to acquire somebody. Maybe they're going to acquire Getter. I don't know. I just don't know. But it's very, very interesting. All right. Stap is bleeding. It's interesting. I guess that's probably why Bitcoin is down a little bit today. Um, I want to look at the GBTC here really quickly. But let's look at Snap. Um, I didn't have Snap myself, um, just because you know, it's just limited what I can buy. But let's go to the daily chart here and take a look. Yeah. Okay. Well, gosh, uh, this is kind of interesting here, from what I can see. So you can see I have my marks on it. Yeah, I was stopped out. See, I was stopped out here. It's still trading on that 40-day line. So the question is what to do with Snap. Well, it's above the 200-day line. That's good, and it's sitting right on the 40-day line. So the question is, what to do here and why did that go? Well, the earnings were good. See, this is the reason that you don't typically want, unless you have a 4%, if 10% cushion, you just don't want to. You don't want to. You don't want to hold through those earnings. This is one of the hardest things that I had to learn. Because I was like, man, the stock's doing great. I just want to hold. I just want to hold through the earnings. But sometimes this can get you into a lot of trouble. What I'm going to do here is hopefully I'm going to zoom in a little bit on some of these things, so hopefully we can see them. Right, well, maybe not. There we go. Try to try to get a little bit bigger size. Okay, 200% magnification. Great. Okay. So I wanted to kind of show you these things. Yeah, and there we go. We went through earnings, and you know, the earnings were the sales were up 116%, and the earnings were terrific. They were, it hasn't been totally adjusted here, but up 211%. But why did it pull back? Well, you never know. Why is that? Why does anything happen? This is one of the reasons why, it's just tough to hold through earnings. I've gotten burned so many times doing this. It's just tough. Let's look at the 30 minute. I kind of want to look at the 30-minute chart to see sort of, yeah, see, look at that. It just took a dive on October 18th, just pulled way back down, but it seems to be holding. I don't know. Just just really tough. This is the thing. There's a common assumption that, just because a stock has good earnings means that it's gonna do well. And this, it just depends on what the expectations are. So this is one of the most difficult things to to do is to figure out how earnings are going to potentially affect the stock. And so what I like to do is I like to, if I don't have more than a 10% a cushion going into earnings, I like to sell. I like to sell because that way I lock in the profits, and then if it comes through and I buy it on the other side, well, that is not necessarily a tragedy. I might not make as much money, but I lock in the profit. So this is something that you have to be careful. We're coming into earnings season for many of the tech stocks. So it's going to be very difficult. You got to keep a real eye on when these stocks are reporting. That's you've got to keep a real eye on when they're reporting, because that can make the difference between between having the stock work and not. It's it's interesting how that is. Hopefully we got there we go. We got the power back on there on there. So that's yeah, it's just bleeding, unfortunately. Hey Mark, thanks for watching the show. Of course, look at Chewy calls. Hmm. I don't know about Chewy. I think that there's just better places to look in the market right now. Chewy just doesn't look that stellar to me. Let me just see if I can find out if there's any action on them. The checklist is not that good, and let's see if I can I can pull up some of the option if action on them. You know, I'm really not looking a lot. There's not a lot of demand here. Boy, you know what? I don't know. Maybe as a seller, maybe a selling calls might work, but I don't see a lot of I don't see a lot of interest here, to be honest. Looking at this, but I could be completely wrong. But I'm seeing, the November 21s are the 30s. Just not a lot of demand. Just that's not even selling it. The 2750, and this is the call. The 2750 call is selling for 429. Wow, that's a volatile stock. So the question is, it might be an easy way to pick up some money. Earnings are in 14 days. Wow, you know what? I don't know. I think I would be a little hesitant on this, but I'd be a little hesitant on this. But you've done very well in calls, so I can't be one that is totally would totally poo-poo that. But I'd be a little bit concerned with you know calls on Chewy right now. It just looks very thin to me. All right, let's look at GM. General Motors, and the car companies, along with Tesla. It's funny whenever Tesla starts to move, the other car companies are looking good too. Ford just moved past a very key level, and I want to take a look at that in just a second here too. Um, you know, it seems like the biggest problem right now that I'm seeing, the biggest headwinds that I'm seeing in the automotive business, of course, is the chip shortage. And, the companies that are able to deal with that are doing better. Now, GM is right at a buy point and it's right at the 40-day line. So it's looking pretty decent. The only thing is I wouldn't buy it here. I just wouldn't buy it here because there's earnings in 6 days. And I think there's a lot of risk on earnings. Now it's moved above the 200-day line and it's right at the 10-day line. So under normal circumstances, that wouldn't be too bad of a place to buy it. But uh, looking at this looking at this chart, I just have to say, we're 6 days in front of earnings with, GM, and that is really kind of a difficult, that's kind of a difficult one, so I'd be really careful here, 6 days in front. I would watch this one, but I wouldn't buy this. I wouldn't buy this until we're through earnings, so, wait for earnings on this one, and, to buy because Um, I just wouldn't be coming into it prior to earnings. It's just too much risk, and I think we just got to be really cognizant of that. Yes, we might have to give up a few. We might have to give up a few points, but it's definitely not something to lose a whole lot over. What do you think of the drop on? Trying to look at this here. GOMF today. What do you think of the drop on OMF? I don't even know what OMF is. Let's look at OMF. That's interesting. OMF. Let's see what we've got here. And let's see. Yeah, look at that. Wow. One main holdings. Personal loans. I don't know. Oh, okay, earnings. Yeah, okay. This is also again, this is definitely a situation where you have to be really careful on those earnings. And we part of the issues that we have here is that we came through earnings. The earnings were good, but it still dropped. Even though the these are up 7% and the earnings are up 17%, they were expecting more. So that's why it dropped. This is why if you're not up 10% coming through earnings, it can be very, very difficult. So I'd be much, much more careful with this when we're coming into earnings like this. I mean, that's part of the reason I think that one main financial. It was good, but it wasn't good enough. It's just boy. Hey, can we look at the cat at cat? Okay, there was this Caterpillar. Everybody knows about Cat. Great company, but is have been having trouble. Part of the issue that with Cat is that they sell a lot of their equipment in China, and the Chinese market for construction, because of Evergrande and some of the other things, has been kind of struggling there a little bit. Is kind of struggling there a little bit. Now, Cat is below the 200-day line, so I wouldn't buy this one. I just would not buy Cat. I wouldn't buy Cat, and the reason I wouldn't buy it, it's bel it's got earnings. First of all, it's got earnings in 7 days. We never wanna buy that close into earnings. We don't wanna do it. Secondly, uh, it's down, it's below that. It's trading below the 200-day moving average, and I just don't wanna buy anything that's trading below the 200-day moving average. It's just not worth it because there's other things to buy that are better. So my take on Cat at this point is, it's just not something you want to buy right now. If you have a profit in it, great. If you're down more than um, if you're down more than 7%, I'd be very careful. So what I would do here is I would just watch this one. I would not do anything else on it. I would watch this Cat, and I would not buy Cat at this level. So yeah, that's I've been kinda negative here. I don't like being negative. Alright, let's take another question from TikTok, thank you. Snap, beat EPS by 12%, so they're not sure why there's a 3% drop. This is what I'm talking about, folks. This is what I'm talking about, folks. If this is one of the reasons why you wanna get a spreadsheet, and as a matter of fact, I do this with a small portfolio. You get a spreadsheet and you look to see what, when those earnings dates are. If you don't have more than a 10% cushion going into earnings, it's not a good idea to buy the stock. And the reason is because of this craziness. I mean, let's go back to Snap. You think, gosh, it's beat earnings, which should go up. Unfortunately, that fundamentally is not a reason why stocks go up. And you say, Jim, if they've got better earnings, why don't they go up? Well, sometimes the expectations are higher, and that's just a fact. So, to protect yourself, one of the best things to do is coming into earnings, you want to, if you're not up 10% on your stock, consider selling it. Now, I have a situation right now with AMD. AMD is going to announce next week. If I am not up 10%, and I'm up about 8% right now on AMD, just in the last 2 weeks. But if I'm not up 10%, I will sell that and I will capture my profit. That's what I will do. I will absolutely, absolutely do that because that makes a big difference. This is AMD, for instance. Currently, we're in a buy zone and it's very strong. And I bought it right as it came out of the correction on the 40-day line. So I've been buying in here. I've been buying at 114. It's now 120. Well, this may not even be enough. So by the time earnings come around, which is in 5 days, I may be a seller of this, even though it's going up like this. And you go, Jim, why would you do that? Well, protect the profit because even after this goes through earnings, there's a high likelihood that this may pull back. This may pull back. Now, as you can see, earnings, and we're looking at AMD. This is one of the best stocks in the market. The earnings, 2 quarters ago were up 189%, and guess what? The stock fell. So what I'm trying to say out to everybody out there is, it's very tough coming through earnings. So it's very tough, and you want to pay, you want to, you kind of want, if you got profits, you want to probably capture those profits if you possibly can. So, that Polly is asking about AXTA. Let's look at AXTA and see what's going on there. And that's interesting. I don't know this company. It's an automotive coatings company, not a stock that I'm terrifically familiar with here, but interesting nevertheless. Let's see if there's anything that I can discern on this. Okay, let me just draw a reversal line in here because it does look as if, we do it does look like we have sort of this reversal line. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna draw this reversal line, and what this is, what this line is that this line shows you if the trend is down or going up. Now, it's not so easy to figure this out, but there definitely was a turn at the beginning of October for this stock to an upward trend. So we're definitely an upward trend. So we always want to buy an upward trend. The relative strength line is 72. We're basically getting close to we're getting close to the 3420 buy point. That's the actual buy point on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also set an alert in there for the buy point at 3420, which would be how I would trade this. This would be how I would trade the stock. So right now, it's reversed and it's looking like it's moving higher. If it can move above 3140, then I think it's going to go all the way up to 3420, and then we're going to see if it can move past that pivot. But right now, this is looking fairly good. I have to admit, this is looking like a pretty good stock. What I'd like to kind of look at is the checklist, and the checklist is excellent. I mean, look at this. The only thing is the relative strength is less than 80, so that is not stellar, but otherwise that's pretty good. I do also have a concern as well, though, and that is this is in the chemical paints group, not an area that is particularly the best, not an area that's particularly the best. This paints area, but it's not a particularly strong group, so we've got to be very careful with that as well. So that's I would be a little concerned. I would be a little concerned about that. Um, as a group to be buying in. I'm trying to get my auxiliary power here. And sorry about all this, working around, and that doesn't seem to be going in there into the right thing. So thanks for bearing with me here. All right, there we go. Now hopefully we'll get this back. All right, I seem to have knocked it out. There we go. Okay, we're coming back in. Thank you for bearing with me here. Um, okay, and hopefully I'm gonna get this back up here in just a second. So go back to the the layout here. I'm having sort of a. It's just amazing how. There we go. Okay, so let's see if I can bring this up. There we go. We're back now. Sorry, I had a issue with one of my cords falling, and it ran out of juice, so I had to put it back in. So on this one, I would be a little bit, on this one, I would be a little bit careful. Um, okay, it's not for some reason. All right. Well, let's see if I can get. Let's see if I can make this work. All right. So let's see if I can. It won't let me. Won't let me close. Hold on one second. There we go. Okay. Okay. Hold on one second. See if I can get some more bandwidth. I'm having bandwidth issues once again. There we go. Okay. So we're back. We're back. All right. All right. Well, so let's look at the XLE here. And hold on one second. I'm just going to take a quick break and come back. Hopefully, some more bandwidth. Hold on. Now, hopefully we got some more throughput here, and it's going a little bit better. So there we go. Okay. Oh, sorry. Oh, if you get, by the way, if you want to get on the email list, just want to put that up there for everybody. So, yeah, just go to www.dallastradingfloor.com, and you'll be able to get to the email on there. It's very easy, and hopefully that will hopefully that will give you a good it will get you on that email list. Hopefully for some of the lists that were coming out, the ready list and that kind of thing. So thanks for bearing with me there. Okay, so getting back to the questions. Thanks again. All right. Going over here to the comments. Ah, interesting. BX. This is from Jeet. BX. Let's look at BX here. See if there's see what the situation is there. And this is Blackstone. Wow, it had a nice move up. Definitely like that. It had a very nice move up there on this chart. A little bit off after hours. Not really a buy point for BX. I'm looking here to see. Wow, this is a 100% checklist. That is excellent. That is definitely excellent on the checklist. So, 126. I'm just looking at the weekly chart to see. Okay, 140. This is looking very. We just came through earnings, and boy, the sales are up 105%, up 72% on the profits. This is actually coming into a pretty good area. Let's go to the monthly chart just to check this. Yeah, definitely. Look at that. Wow. Looking very, very good. Can you buy it here? That's the question. I don't know. It's this is not a traditional buy point. I'll be honest with you. We're pretty far extended from the we're pretty far extended from the 10-day line. So that is definitely an issue here. That is definitely an issue. But in general, hmm, I have to say, yeah, I would wait for this to pull back a little bit. I would definitely watch this one. I definitely, I definitely would watch this. Just because this is a very interesting stock. I really don't know what to say right at this moment on it, but right now I would definitely watch this BX. I would watch this as BX. This is great. I appreciate bringing it to the attention, Jeet. This is a good one. This is definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. Let's look for from Dinesh. Wrote 8 apps, nice, 50 look at that, to 75 and got sold out. Can you see another entry point? Good question. Apps, Digital Turbine, it's funny, last summer I was down July 4th, I was down in Austin, and of course, that's where their headquarters are, Digital Turbine. You know, boy, this is looking very good here. Very, very good. The question is, can you enter it here? This is potentially. I want to look at the weekly chart, see if I can get a good entry. Yeah, you know what? This is not being picked up on pattern recognition. We've got earnings in 12 days. Here's what I would do with Dinesh. Here's what I would do with Digital Turbine. Here's what I do with Digital Turbine. Earnings basically are coming up on the 2nd of November. So basically, what I would do with what I would do with Digital Turbine apps is I would wait for earnings on November 2nd, uh, and then possibly come in with a 1/2 position. I mean, that's really where I see it. If we came in with a half position there, I think that would look very, very good. So let me put that banner up here right now. And hold on, I've got to make another pit stop here. 1 second. Now we're back. Sorry about that. Okay, we should be getting some we should be getting some more power now. Just had some power issues here. Just amazing. A lot of power issues. Let's take a question from TikTok. Thank you so much for bearing with me and all my technical problems here today. Um, are there any buys? Uh, let's see. Thoughts on Facebook? Okay, that's an interesting one, definitely to look at. Is Facebook? Thank you very much, Dinesh, for that. It's very. I like Digital Turbine too, and I'm really interested in possibly getting. But I want to wait for the. I just want to wait for earnings on the second of December, on second of November before doing anything. So I would wait for earnings on that. Let's look at Facebook, see if there's anything we can do there uh, for Facebook. See if I can get there we go. So I can get a screen up on Facebook. Um, hmm. So is there a place to buy Facebook? Well, you know what? It's reversing. Wow, that's a nice reversal too. Um, so, so this might work actually. It's come off the 200-day line. I want to look at the checklist to see. Boy, that's a pretty good checklist though. 79% checklist. Um, we're coming through earnings in 4 days. So here's what I would do with Facebook. Facebook should be on your watch list. Definitely should be on your watch. It has reversed. Facebook has reversed. It's got a relative strength of 65, which is a little bit low. But it's got earnings in 4 days. So here's what I would do with Facebook, and I think Facebook is potentially buyable, but I wouldn't buy it until it comes to earnings. So my take on this is, wait for the earnings. Wait for the earnings on Facebook because potentially this is a buy. Potentially this is a buy. There is a reversal. There's a very nice reversal off the 200-day line. That's at the bottom of the consolidation. So that is looking very good. That is looking very, very good. So what I would do is I would wait for the I would wait 4 days, and basically that means that they're going to be reporting, I guess, on, let's see, yeah, on Monday. So Monday, Facebook reports. I would wait for Monday to possibly buy Facebook because I think that it may be a very, very, very nice reversal. Very nice reversal as well. We have another question on DWAC. I did cover this. Very interesting. I'm watching this very closely, and hopefully, I will know more. So you're definitely going to have to you're going to have to tune in tomorrow on the show because I'm definitely going to do some more research. I certainly don't know a whole lot about this Digital World Acquisition Corporation. This is, of course, the Trump media play, and it's going crazy. Um, and we'll see. For Jay, let's take a look at Apple. That's an absolutely really important. We're almost at the end of the day, almost the end of the time. So let's look at Apple. That's probably our last symbol. I like Microsoft better than Apple right now. Basically I basically own Microsoft, but this is setting up. So, the question is, can we come into it? Now, I have this trend line here. I don't know if you can yeah, there we go. I have this trend line basically here, and it's pulled up to the 150 level. I believe that we can start moving back in to Apple if it convincingly closes above 150. Currently, it's at 149.10 after hours, so I can't totally say that this is gonna be a buy. So what we've gotta do again, and this is, painful, of course, is with Apple, we're just gonna have to watch list this and wait. We're just gonna have to watch this. I wanna see it close above 150 before doing anything on this. 150 seems to be the mark on this one. So, thank you very, very much, for watching today. So appreciate it, as always. As always, if you're not a member of the Action Trailer, it's very easy to do. All you have to do if you're watching on YouTube or any of that is just go to www Dallas Trading Floor and just do it first and last name and an email address. And of course, you can quit anytime you want. It's free, but it lets me send out some of the trade alerts and stuff like that that I have to everybody and some of the watch lists and good stuff like that. If you're interested in the Discord room, that's also available. There's a button. It's very easy to, it's very easy to work. I'll just kind of give you a look. See, it's Dallas Trading Floor, and let's see if we can bring that up and show you kind of what it looks like. There we go. S- So if you were to look at it, basically um, it the website looks kinda like this. See if I can there we go. This is what the kind of the website looks like, and, of course, today's show, that's right here. If you'd like to join the watch list, and you'd like to take a look at the watch list, I'm gonna be updating this, in a few minutes. This is our Discord service, which, is a good thing. This is actually a live service, and I try to analyze the trades as we go through the day, and then, of course, um the Dallas Trading Floor mug. Everybody loves this, and I just want to show it to you. It's available here. It's beautiful. Anyways, well, not so beautiful, but I just thought I would bring that up. Thought I would bring that up. That's how you can get a hold of the mug uh, for that. So, without further ado, thank you everybody for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow. Let's see, one more question maybe. Let's see. Okay. Um, all right. Thank you very, very much too. And I'll be coming back tomorrow at 3:30. Thanks everybody, and happy trading. And stay safe. And we're going to be taking a look at that SPAC. Very interesting to me. I still don't know quite what to make of it. I'm trying to figure out an entry point. I'm going to be watching it very carefully, to see if just to see if if I can find a good entry point for it. But looking very, very interesting. Be back tomorrow at 3:30. Thank you so much for watching. Tell your friends and buy a mug, please.